What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Two-Wheeled Rider YouTube channel. My name is Mario Orsini, and for whatever reason, the last few weeks, I've had quite a few coworkers and other friends reach out to me who have either friends, family, whatever, that ride motorcycles and wanted some gift ideas. These actually had nothing to do with Christmas, but since Christmas is right around the corner, and I'm posting this the week of Black Friday, I thought, why not make a video to help out quite a few people other than just my coworkers and close friends. So in today's video, I'm going to go through 10 gifts that you can pick up for a motorcycle rider in your life. All right, so the good news is most of these gifts are pretty cheap. I will tell you there are a couple things that we'll get to toward the end that are a little bit more expensive, but this isn't going to be like, buy them a helmet, buy them a pair of boots. But these are going to be smaller things. Most of them are stocking stuffer size, though they are very usable, and they are kind of geared more to the motorcycle traveler in most cases. So let's hop into the first one. If you've been riding any period of time, you know what these are. These are rock straps. They come in all sorts of different sizes, meaning both length and width. They're great for cinching stuff down. On my most recent big motorcycle trip to Italy, when my sister and I left our beachfront hotel to go over to MotoGP for the day, we wore street clothes. So I literally just used rock straps to cinch my gear or my riding jacket and pants down on my back seat until we were done with the race, and then we could head back over and get geared up to ride a few hours to our next destination. The nice thing about them, if you've never used them before, it's basically just a simple, find a spot to put them on your bike, loop it through. One end of it is elastic. The other end of it you cinch down is not. It's just a regular pull-through tab. So it will cinch your stuff pretty tight. They take up basically no room. They're invaluable to have. I've probably lost as many as I've bought at this point. Well, actually, I guess that's not true. I've probably bought twice as many as I've lost, but I do lose them from time to time. I loan them out to friends. They're pretty cheap. They're around that $20, $25 price point, so makes an awesome gift. So as someone who travels on their motorcycle a lot, at the end of the day, I always have things that I need to charge. So I'm on a constant lookout to make my charging pack and cables as small as possible. So when I see something cool, I like to grab it. Also, I do a lot of travel for work where I'm on a plane, 20 plus times a year. So charging's kind of important to me. So when I saw Ridge came out with this wall charger, and I'm a Ridge wallet guy, I love them. I'm not affiliated with them, love to be. I had to get this. One of the things I like about it, you can get it in black, but I love the bright orange. You guys know I love orange. But part of the reason I love it so bright is if it's in your backpack or in a bag or something, you can see it easily. The other thing I like about it, it's 45 watts, so it's pretty quick charger for your cell phones, your comms device, whatever it may be. That's if you use a single port. If you're using both ports, I think the top one's 25 watts, the bottom is 20 watts, and it takes up so little room. And look, you just pop the plug out on the back. But it also comes along with two braided cables, which again, these are easy to see. They're both USB-C on each end. And the other thing I like is they give you this little rubber strap on it. So, it keeps everything nice and tidy in my pack when I'm carrying it. One's a 6-foot, one's a 3-foot. Absolutely love this thing. I've been using the crap out of it for about the last 6 weeks. It's something I'm going to have in my kit for quite a while. I think it's right around $59. They are running some deals, but as of recording this, when I looked it up earlier tonight, they are sold out at the moment, so it tells you how popular they are, but keep a lookout for it. And by the way, I'm going to link everything down below in this video, so if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out. When I was over on the website to buy the Ridge wall charger, I found this really cool battery pack. It is MagSafe. It also has USB-C plug, on the side you can charge with. Also has the lightning plug on the side you can charge with. These are faster to charge than the MagSafe, but you could actually charge 3 devices at once. This thing has been awesome, except when I submerged it in water, and now I've filed a claim with Amex, and I'm going to get a new one. But it's 10,000 milliamp hour battery on this. It also, down on the bottom, it just charges with the USB-C cable, but there's a button on here that'll show you how much battery life's left in it. This thing has been great. They're around $79, but they're running Black Friday specials and everything else on these. You buy more than one, you save money. I think they're great. Now, if you don't want to spend that kind of money on a battery pack, I've had this Anchor battery pack. Now, it's half the size when it comes to charging. It's also quite a bit lighter and not quite as thick or as big. But again, it is MagSafe. It also has a little prop there for your iPhone. And I don't know, prices are fluctuating a lot on these right now. but I think it's around 28 bucks with some of the specials Amazon has going on. So either one of these are great, especially if you're out somewhere, you know, you get done with your motorcycle trip at the end of the day, or if you're like me and you fly a lot, you go sit down at a bar or restaurant or whatever, you might not have a wall plug and you've had your cell phone on all day and he's charged. Don't have to worry about it with one of these battery packs. All right, so we are going to definitely stick with the charging theme for just a moment more. This is something that I used, and I used a different one years ago when I was traveling over in Europe, but this is a travel adapter. What I like about this one, my sister got a different one, is if you look at it, it's a pretty small form factor because then the different plugs pop out of the adapter there, which I really like this. It has a 2-prong here on the front if you want to, you know, plug in a regular plug. It also has USB-A down on the bottom. It's got 2 of them and 2 USB-Cs on the side. This is made by Anker. Anker makes some really good stuff. I've used a lot of their stuff over the years. And if you're traveling overseas and you still need to charge your items, this thing performs flawlessly, and it's only about 20 bucks and doesn't take up much room. All right, next up, we're getting into some really sexy gifts. Merino wool socks. These, I can't believe I'm making a video talking about socks. So these socks, I can't believe I spent $25 on a pair of socks. They're made by Darn Tough, which is a US-based company out of Vermont. Here's what's great about them, and especially if you're a motorcycle rider that travels a lot. So these are the lightweight ones. These are about 25 bucks. I'm actually wearing the middleweight ones on my feet right now with my boots, not motorcycle boots, but hiking boots. I would probably say in the summertime, you might want the lighter weight ones. And then in those in-between seasons, you might want the mid-weight for your boot. But I'll leave it up to you. The mid-weight ones, I think, are about $30. And it depends on what colors and everything else you get. Here's what's awesome about them. One, it's like walking on a cushion of air when you're wearing them. They're great. They're super comfortable. But two, they wick moisture and sweat away from your foot. So no crap. I've worn these things up to 5 days in a row, and they still don't stink. So why do I recommend these as a gift for a motorcycle rider? It's simple. You don't have to pack that many. Like, you could literally get away with, you know, you could go on a 2-week trip and get away with 2-3, you know, the pair of socks you have on, like maybe 2 other pairs. And they sell them in all different styles. Like if you want the over the calf or you want the no-show ankle socks or whatever, they have them all. Here's the other thing. $25 for a pair of socks, yes, it's ridiculous, but they have a lifetime warranty. So buy yourself a handful of pairs and you never have to buy a pair of socks again. And they're super easy to take care of. Speaking of taking care of them, if you are going on a motorcycle trip and you only want to take a couple pairs of socks, the next gift, which is about $4, 3-pack of these Tides. Here's what's cool about these little things. These are literally just these tiny little packs. They take up no room on your motorcycle, and they're really made to like wash your stuff in the sink. So when my sister and I were over in Italy, you know, like laundromats were a little bit harder to find than they were here in the States. Not that you couldn't get to them, but they're just a little bit harder to find. And there were some nights where you're like, hey, I just need to wash like a couple pairs of underwear and some socks in the sink. These things are perfect. They're basically a little over $1 a wash. Check them out. Order yourself a few packs of them. They come in a 3-pack, but order yourself a few packs of them. They're invaluable. Okay, so this next thing is something that, you know, pretty much all motorcycle riders can use, at least if you have a motorcycle with a license plate. And these are these little nylon license plate bolts. You get a 16-pack of them for like $6 to $8. I have, you know, I'm messing around with the black ones here. You also kind of, I don't know if you want to call these white or kind of, you know, natural colored ones or whatever. They're super cheap. I have used some of the reflective ones in the past with the wing nut or whatever. What makes these nice as opposed to some of the others is, one, they're super lightweight. 2, they're super easy to use, and they're super cheap. They're like, I don't know what they were going to run you, like 50 cents, you know, 25 cents each or something like that. Some of them are even less than that. I've been using them on my Aprilia. I have no complaints out of them. They don't vibrate off. You don't need any sort of lock nut or anything, and you can just twist them up by hand, and they work really good. So, again, cheap gift, but it works. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, and I've been using these for probably going on 10 years now. So most of you are probably familiar with ram mounts, and this is one of the double knuckles or whatever. This isn't specifically what I'm talking about because you need to figure out what you're using it for. but this is a ram mount tough claw. I love this thing. You guys have seen a lot of camera angles over the years with the camera down on the side of the bike, and that's because I literally just spin this thing down and, you know, mount my camera there on my crash bar. You can also use it once the Italy series comes out, you'll see this is what I use to mount the GPS on the rental bike, because I wasn't going to put it on there permanently. So I just clipped this thing onto the handlebar. These things are $25, $30 depending. Just be careful. There are some off brands out there. They probably work okay, but, you know, support the original, support Ram, and they're really good quality stuff. And then you can check out the rest of the accessories. Obviously, this one's set up for a GoPro. You can get longer double knuckle joints. There's all sorts of things you can get. But love the Tough Claw. A lot of different applications for it. Hell, some guys use it to, actually I say some guys, I use it to mount a mirror on my 500 instead of putting a permanent post on there. I just have that clipped on the bar. So definitely like the Tough Claw. A lot of good uses. All right, so with the 9th gift on the list, you guys know I like to work on my own stuff, so that's where a toolkit comes in handy. This is my Cruise toolkit that I have taken with me all over the world at this point. What's cool about those are they have a lifetime warranty on the tools, and Cruise actually makes motorcycle-specific tools for the kit. So, like in the instance of mine, this is a KTM-specific one. I have like 8mm, 10mm, 13mm sockets. You don't really use a 12 or an 11 on a KTM. They'll do the same thing. They don't necessarily have them for every single bike or every single brand, but they have them for most. They're around $100. The price fluctuates a little bit during the course of the year. Another thing that you might want to consider, in addition to one of those toolkits or something like it, is just a multi-tool. So this is the Leatherman Wave Plus. This one seems to, you know, work the best for me. One of the things I love about, I love these pliers because I've had to use it to plug tires, and, you know, I love the cutters on there for, you know, cutting off a plug or whatever if we need to do it. Check it out on their website. I mean, they have Leatherman specifically has all sorts of different multi-tools. This is the one that seems to work well for me. And then if you want to go big time on something cool, I bought Noah last year one of the Tusk toolboxes. And what's cool about that is that thing comes loaded with all sorts of cool tools, and they're really, really good quality. I think they're going for around $400 now. Again, the price kind of fluctuates between $400 and $500 depending on the time of year. I know they've made some updates to that toolkit since his. I did a video on it. I'll link it up there if you want to check that out. But I'll show a little bit of stock footage from that video so you can kind of see what's in that toolkit. Again, that's going to be the most expensive one, unless the final one, number 10, that's just a catch-all gift card. Get them a gift card to their favorite motorcycle dealer or local motorcycle dealer, or Rocky Mountain ATVMC is a good place if you don't really know what they want and you don't know who their dealer is, or you know, maybe they live further away and you just want to send them something that way. And then you know, if they're a street rider, I'd say if they're off-road rider, dirt bike rider, maybe an adventure rider, Rocky Mountain's the way to go. If they're a street rider, Revzilla is probably the way to go. If they're in the United States, obviously if you're outside the US, again, still recommend the dealer, assuming you have a good one. But otherwise, whoever the big manufacturer or supplier is would be the one you should check out for your country. So anyway, those are 10 gifts that I think are good for a motorcycle rider / motorcycle traveler, or even traveler in general. A lot of these things I use, maybe not on a daily basis, but fairly often, even when I'm not riding, because like I said, I travel a lot. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, considering that subscribe button, because if you like motorcycles, well, this is the place to be. If you have any questions about any of these things, again, they'll all be linked down in the description below, so check out the links if it's something you want to check out. And if there's something that you think would be good for most motorcycle riders, just comment down in the comment section. Hopefully you guys got a lot of cool ideas. I'll probably steal some of them and order some stuff myself, which I'm sure you guys will do too. You're not just going to get this stuff for your friends or send this to a significant other and go, hey, get me something. I know a lot of you are just going to order it for yourself. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys again soon.